Hello everybody and welcome back for another Destiny 2 video. Today we are going to be looking closely at the Tractor Cannon exotic power weapon and mainly going through how you can use it more effectively and efficiently in order to maximise your damage output using this new, now god tier weapon in Destiny 2. I've been using it a lot since the Warmind expansion was released, and even more so since it was the first exotic Masterworks catalyst I obtained and upgraded. If you have been using it, you'll know how good it is when using it in all types of situations. However, there are a few ways you can be even more effective in your fire team to help beat even the toughest of enemies single-handedly, including pairing it with some exotic armor pieces that you may not think of to use. I've found these builds so effective in the escalation protocol recently, as well as the strikes and certain raid boss encounters too. So the Tractor Cannon had a significant buff to its intrinsic perk in the Go Fast update. The repulsor force now not only pushes enemies away but also suppresses their abilities and makes them more vulnerable to void damage. These last two parts to this perk make this a boss killing machine, especially in the hands of an entrusted Voidwalker Warlock. Now, as the Tractor Cannon is a void type weapon, you can use it to take multiple hits at the enemy to make use of the great increase to void damage, topping out at 50% extra bonus damage, which is all well and good, but if you look closer you will find that this buff to void damage actually lasts a considerable amount of time, more than what you would actually believe. The buff is in place for nearly 10 seconds, giving you plenty of time to step back, bang on a Nova Bomb, a grenade, your melee, and also use your favourite energy void weapon. Then all you need to do once the buff runs out is simply pull out your Tractor Cannon and hit the enemy once and start the whole process over again. This is far more efficient than just booping away with the Tractor Cannon and wasting precious power ammo. The Tractor Cannon pairs best, as mentioned before, with the Voidwalker, but more specifically the bottom subclass Devour Tree, the Attunement of Hunger, giving you a boost to health regeneration on kills with the Devour perk, and for even more devastation, the Empowering Rifts too. There's several exotics that you can pair nicely with this great weapon, but first on my list would be the Nesser Axe. I reviewed this in an earlier video on my channel, and the great thing about this exotic Warlock helmet is that your abilities recharge at an increased rate on any void kill, thanks to the Abyssal Extractors perk. You can see this in action in the background gameplay from my recent Escalation Protocol run, where I was basically just running around, booping everything in sight, and then throwing grenades, melees, anything void basically at the waves of AD, making use of this great helmet perk. The thing is, when you are using the Tractor Cannon, you are likely to be using a full void loadout. With a void energy weapon, plus your void subclass and of course the void burn from the Tractor Cannon, ultimately this means you're more than likely to get a void damage type kill, therefore increasing your ability recharge rate to get more void grenades and supers to make use of the Tractor Cannon void damage buff more often. It just makes perfect sense to maximise your damage potential with the potent Nova Bomb being available to you as often as possible. That's just the start though. The Warlock has a number of other exotics that pair rather nicely with the Tractor Cannon too. The great thing about the Voidwalker is that your melee ability doesn't actually disappear until you kill your opponent, so hitting a boss or high level enemy will just keep applying void damage at an increased output with the Tractor Cannon buff. Another great armor piece to use with this, I would also recommend the Claws of Ahamkara, which will grant you an additional melee charge. You will nearly always have a melee ready to go as the second is charging whilst you punch away at the adds or bosses, inflicting void damage too at that higher rate thanks to the Tractor Cannon. Further to this, you can even use the Lunafaction boots to aid with even greater boss DPS, as it constantly reloads your weapon whilst you are standing in the rift. Add to this the Empowering Rift along with the buff from the Tractor Cannon and you have a very potent mix to cause high amounts of damage to bosses in all types of situations. I personally pair the Suros Quickstep SMG as my void energy weapon when I'm using the Tractor Cannon, as it's easy to use and deals high amounts of damage at the close range you will be whilst using the tractor cannon on your target. Any type of SMG or auto rifle as a void energy weapon is ideal to use though here. With this setup, without having to reload, you can get lots of damage out before needing to rebuff with the tractor cannon. Overall, the tractor cannon is one of the most versatile weapons in the game, which is great for all types of situations, whether that be taking out bunches of adds, taking out higher level bosses, or even suppressing a guardian out of their super in the Crucible. It will hold its own, and then some. If you've got the tractor cannon collecting dust in your vault, I highly recommend getting it out and giving it a whirl. So there you go everyone, just a quick look, overview and a bit of an in-depth review of how to use the tractor cannon more effectively in Destiny 2. Please let me know in the comment section what you think of this video and if you've been using the tractor cannon recently. Please remember to also like my video and subscribe to the channel for more future Destiny 2 content. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram for the latest news and information surrounding the game. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.